What's good? What are you saying, ladies and gentlemen? It's your co-host Osama and
Good morning, good Osama. How are you doing
this
today?
guy. Why is your camera frozen?
Bro, legit, before you sent me the link, for some weird reason, my mic fell off the table. So I'm like, oh my god, get it. I'm holding it, bro. Got the whole thing in my hand.
Jokes. Yo, honestly, bro, I woke up at 5:30 in the morning today.
Really?
Yeah, it feels good. I actually like waking up in the early. Or I like that made no sense. I like waking up early in the morning.
Of course, it's really good to wake up early in the morning, take advantage of the day, really, right? And you're able to relax your mind, And by the time you really realize it, and you went through your process as far as your transformation, whatever things people do to get themselves ready, it's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. So you really have the rest of the day to do your errands, be on top of your things, and get your priorities done. So it's really good to take advantage of the morning. Actually, be a good topic to talk about in the future.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Just going back to what you said, because I feel like a lot of the times when you wake up midday, like 9 o'clock or even 10, it's not even midday, but 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. At that point, like you lost 3 to 4 hours of your day. So you start to rush so much of your time, and then you're not using it efficiently. So
And I would even do the introduction. Thank you for everyone coming to another episode of Ways. My name is Mohammed, here with the Osama, and we are What Are You Saying? The podcast. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe every episode. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, and other platforms. Household. Really go turn that off. Continuing on with the
listen, for honestly, I feel if we ever get famous because of all the random sounds that we hear that people hear in our background, they'd be like, "What's that?" Hello.
Yep, I
Where did you go, bro?
had to go do something. Can't to myself, but point is to take care of some things.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Jokes. Hey, I
Hey,
can hear you, Olivia. It was good.
Awesome. I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm blessed. I was telling Mohammed that I woke up 5:40 in the morning, so or 5:30 in the morning. So
Damn, good for you though. Are you joining the 5 a.m. club?
no, I just wake up randomly. I always have my alarm at 8, but I always wake up before my alarm, so I just get up at that point.
I see. It must be nice to just wake up whenever you want.
I know, right? It's because I also slept early because like I do this for all the non-hockey fans if you're listening. Tim Hortons has a thing where if you pick 3 hockey players, you get points. So you get free coffee essentially from Tim Hortons if you basically all three of your players score. So that's all I do. I just wait. So I just wake up in the morning, see if I got points, and if I don't, I just go. I just like get bummed out. But yeah.
I see.
Guys. So Olivia, since you brought up the topic to us again with the fire topics, do you want to start it off for us?
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking about that in my head earlier today. I'm trying to remember how I was going to start it. So basically, yeah, I can start it. But it'll come to me.
Started. Oh, speaking of which, guys, before we started, I want to say that Olivia, you'll be seeing sorry?
I said you didn't.
What?
That's what I was gonna say. So I was just gonna say it right now. I just clicked my mind. Olivia is gonna be one of our female guest hosts. She'll be coming more often. She's actually our longest guest. This is her 3rd time on the show, so respect.
Thank you.
Yo, Mo, you
Alright.
look pixelated, bro.
I'm really annoyed. The fact I'm holding a whole like microphone stand in my right hand and trying to these African sounds around the household, but that's life. You gotta adjust. Just gotta.
You know, that's dedication, Mo. Dedication to the podcast. Sorry, are you ready?
Oh yeah, we're ready. We're ready.
Oh, okay, we're already good. So basically, our last podcast, we were talking about how it was towards the end of 2020, we're going into 2021, and we kind of put out a podcast that kind of holds people accountable if they didn't do what they wanted or they didn't feel that 2020 was fulfilling enough for them. And we kind of ended that podcast with a bit of motivation to do that in 2021. So now it's 2021, and this podcast today, we kind of want to give people that motivation and kind of just keep people going with that. So today's podcast is about taking every opportunity, and I really want to open up everyone's perspective to see how many opportunities are really out there and aren't really available to everyone, because sometimes we don't even realize how many opportunities are right at our fingertips.
No, it's so true. It's actually amazing that you said that, because like it goes. I think it's more so of a quote, or I guess cliche. Like we say that a lot, but we don't are at our fingertips. I think life would be a lot easier, and like less people would complain, because a lot of the times people would look at other people and say, "Oh well, why are they getting that opportunity?" Well, it's because they're definitely putting in the work, as one, and two, I feel like they have faith within themselves and they don't allow certain external factors affect them, like corona, or I guess breakups, or like for example, things aren't going your way, all that kind of such.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think also that when you're faced with these challenges, it's really a huge opportunity to learn from it and to make something great from something that was negative. So it's funny that you mentioned breakups, because a lot of people that are in breakups, I don't want to say they forget, but because breakups are really hard and it puts you at a very vulnerable place, when you put yourself out there into the world, sometimes you're not really fully putting yourself out there. So I do want to remind people that sometimes you never know who you're going to come across in your day, who you're going to meet. And every person that you meet is already a new opportunity, because you never know what kind of connections that person has, where that person has been. If it's a new person you've never met before, you don't know what kind of person they are. You don't know if maybe they've been through similar experiences as you that you can connect with. And a connection like that can really build a very strong relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel people should people should use their past experiences to open their opportunities. Like for example, like, yeah, we mentioned breakups, and obviously sometimes people, I don't want to say that they do get lost in a sense, but sometimes you are trying to figure out what's your next motive. Mm-hmm. So certain things do get put on a hold, because obviously you, after like 2 to 3, 4 years of being with someone, you're like, oh damn, what's my next opportunity? That's actually a real problem, where people, they get so involved because of this breakup, but they realize that there's better things out there. Sometimes people have to understand you're not alone. Like, you're not the first person to go through it, and you're not the last person to go through it.
Yep, and it's
so always go seek for help.
For sure, and it's really, a lot of times it's a very temporary situation that you're in, right? You're not going to be single forever, unless, well, I don't know. Sometimes people enjoy being single. Some people want to be single the rest of their life, and that's fine. But if you've been through a breakup, or you're going through a breakup, don't close the door on opportunity, is what I'm trying to say. Because like I said, if you're really putting yourself out there, you will find that person. And it's not going to be right away. It might be for some people, but everyone's different. But if you're putting yourself out there, at some point you will come across a new friend, a new relationship. You never know. So just keep an open mind.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah, and think about it. Think about past relationships that you've had in the past. I'm sure at one point you didn't know that person, or maybe that person has been just an acquaintance, maybe that person has been a friend your whole life. And then what was it that made you guys get together? One of you would have had to take the opportunity to pursue that relationship or pursue that new person that you just met, right?
No, definitely. Absolutely.
It's not like it wasn't prearranged.
I couldn't agree more. Mohammed, yo, this guy, speak up, bro.
He's just taking in the wisdom.
Always. Hold my mic at the exact same time, just all over the place. Really cool topic as far as taking advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. And I think for myself, I know for most of you guys, I know for sure Osama, but for myself speaking, like, the reason why I'm able to take advantage of like every opportunity that comes my way is, number one, the first rule, just saying yes. Like, just saying yes alone. Like, people will present you things, and for some weird reason, we're just so enclosed in our own mind as to what we believe it's the best for us. We don't take any risk at all. We don't want to get out of our comfort zone. So that's what limits us overall, right? And for me, since I was young, it's like, no, like, I want to do a lot of different things. I want to learn about different things. So I have to put myself out there. So if an opportunity comes, just say yes, because you never know what's going to lead you to, right? So I think that's the first factor before most things, because most of our friends that we know say no to everything. And it's funny how people will say no to everything, but they tell at the exact same time they want to do everything. It's like the weirdest thing in the world. Do you guys relate to that?
Oh, definitely. I hear it all the time. People say, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. But then when someone presents them with the opportunity, or even maybe not the full opportunity itself, but a doorway, a pathway, something to open them to get there eventually, they say no. A lot of people just want the easy way out. And, it's an opportunity isn't going to fall into your lap. You have to be open to it.
I couldn't agree more. I agree with both of you. I feel a lot of the times the reason why people will keep saying they could do something when the opportunity arises, they say no, is I feel like they're insecure with showcasing their talents to someone else, so like they keep it hidden. I know a lot of talented people, specifically one of our friends like me and Muhammad have. And I remember this one incident. This is actually a perfect example. It's probably almost 3 years ago, 2017ish. Probably almost now 4 years ago when it happened. So I remember we were sitting at Oakville Place in the mall, and we're arguing. And obviously at that time, this beautiful gentleman right here wanted to learn how to do Photoshop and like photography. So he was like, okay. He was asking like, yo, can we go take some photo shoots outside? And he was like, no man, it's too cold. And whatever, the argument gets really heated. And I remember I said, I'm like, dude, all we're trying to do is learn crap. And I guess ironically, all of the stuff that we learned from him helped us with growing ways. But I remember at the time I was like, bro, stop being an idiot. Because at one point, he took a photo of a person, he told them they're all trash. So he used that one very example. That it's like, oh, well, that one person said, and then this guy used a beautiful example. He's like, so you're well, let's name him Bob. He's like, you're gonna let all the Bobs in the world tell you working.
You have to bring him on.
No. Well, he has to come on. I think actually Olivia met him. I'm not gonna lie. I think he did.
Well, the building.
No, like the actual person, Bob. Anyways, long story short, and I remember he kept telling us, oh, I want to showcase my talents, I want to showcase my art, and I was like, this is the way we're giving you to put on our platforms, tagging you so other people can see your artwork. And he was not having it, and eventually it probably took us half an hour, and people were staring at us at this point. So that kind of shows me that sometimes not everybody's up to the opportunity when give it to. Like, there's only a few people, you guys probably know them yourselves, there's only a few people who, when given the opportunity, they're going to kill it.
Yeah, for sure. Osama, I actually wanted to use you as an example as well. I think that, so I think right now, the most popular platforms that my group of friends uses at the moment would be Instagram and Facebook. I think a lot of times people either use Twitter when they've gone through all the other feeds, or it's kind of like the last resort when they're bored of everything else. And Osama actually used that as an opportunity, and he's been reaching out to people on Twitter a lot. And How many new followers did we get from just you reaching out on Twitter alone that time?
On what platform? On
Twitter.
Twitter? Oh, I think
Yeah.
I like 75 within like 2-3 days.
Yeah. So that alone was already an opportunity, and it was something that didn't cost any money. It was free and at your fingertips, and you just saw that opportunity and you took it. And now that's 75 more followers, right?
Exactly. And you know, also, like, remember, like, me and you were talking over the phone about, like, or text, we were texting about opportunities and talking about topics to talk about. And I remember you were telling me about, like, where you work. You were like, because they see the work that you're putting in and see, like, how well you're excelling that. They're giving you opportunity because you're asking for it. A lot of the times people don't ask for the opportunity. Like, for example, when you want to do, like, you're in a role and you want to move up to the next senior position. So no one's gonna know if you don't ask for it, because then when they see you're being serious, they'll set you up for like that stance. Okay, so this is what you have to do: some work, some training, some courses to get you to the next level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say also sometimes, depending on your workplace, not all managers not all managers are leaders. So sometimes,
it's like the posty.
Unless exactly. So if you don't tell them where you want to be, if you don't tell them that you want to try something new, or if they're not coaching you to try and help you onto the path that you want, they're just going to think that you're content within your job and you're just going to stay in that same position. But if you reach out to them and say, like, hey, I was thinking about this and I kind of want to know more about it. Like, are there any opportunities, or do you think that there's someone here that can teach me if there's free time one day? And, you know, it just takes a conversation, really. And what do you have to lose at that point? If your job's steady, if you're good at what you do, and you have a good relationship with your manager, like, why not ask, right? The worst that they're going to say is no. And like I said, if you're content with your job, you're content with your job. And that actually kind of brings me into another example. So I'm happy with my job right now. Like, I love the people I work with. I like the company I work for. I have a good relationship with my managers, my leaders, a lot of people within the company. And I'm not looking for another job. But someone in my family saw an opportunity, and it was a really good position. It paid very similar to what I'm at right now. So she reached out to me and she said, I'm not sure what you're getting paid at your job. I'm not sure how happy you are at your job. But this sounds like if you weren't, this would be the perfect position for you. So I took a look at it and I was like, it does sound like I would qualify. I would definitely be eligible for it. I have the experience. I have the education for it. I know I could do it if I want to. But also at my job, like, there's so much opportunity. There's so much I'm working towards. I'm not really looking for anything else. And then she said, like, you know what? That's fine if you're happy there, but I'm just going to say this. You can take it or you can leave it, is that if you apply, if you go for the interview, and if you get the job offer, you don't have to accept that offer. And that really resonated with me, because I was like, you're right. Like, it's an opportunity. I could get it. If something were to change within that job offer, let's say they offered me, I don't know, 10, 15,000 more, then maybe that'd be a better opportunity for me financially, right? And then at the end of the day as well, then maybe I could go back to my job and say, hey, I was offered this position at this rate. I love working here, but this is a better opportunity. You never know if your job's gonna negotiate to keep you or not, right? So, and then as I said at the end of the day, if it wasn't an opportunity for me, I could still say no, and I would still have the job that I have today.
That's actually an amazing piece of advice, because a lot of people, a lot of the times, when they sometimes, again, like you said it yourself, sometimes people are comfortable where they are in their position. They don't see themselves growing. Some people do want to see themselves grow, but they love the people. Obviously, in the same sense, you have better opportunities, and then it's like you have to look at the pros and cons of like where you believe you stand, like where one opportunity can take you.
Yeah. And then another business example was one of my coworkers at a previous job that I had. She told me that no matter how happy you are in your job, never stop looking just to see what's out there, because you never know if there's something out there that might be an even bigger opportunity or an even better opportunity. Maybe you see something that might be a new path you want to pursue. Maybe you realize that it's been a few years since you started your job and you haven't gotten a pay raise, and this is what the average salary for that position is now, and maybe you want to confront your manager about that, hey, there's other positions out there that offer this salary. Why am I only getting paid this salary? There's so many reasons to continue to search for new opportunities and use that to your benefit.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you again, bro. You're gonna speak up, bro.
Agree, totally listening. Yeah, agree with everything that Olivia just said. It makes me wonder. It feels like, because obviously we've been talking about opportunities, taking advantage of it, never knowing where one road is going to lead to the next as far as the opportunity itself. Do you guys feel as if like our generation is like
lazy?
I want to say lazy, but obviously like society was more harder as you go through previous generations, because obviously they didn't have social media and all these different things. You have to write letters, have to travel to certain places, you have to go to certain places, do a phone call and all these different things. So obviously the risk taking in our previous generations, like our parents, was way more significant compared to us, because obviously everything's more accessible for us. So do you think our generation is less risk taking, for lack of a better word, just because of how much accessibility we have to everything? And does that actually help us? Or
just because something's accessible doesn't mean our life is easier, right? I feel our generation, if you're born like 90s, like down to 2000 and like I guess 2010s, we're going to be facing a lot of obstacles. And here's why. One, we're in the most competitive market we've been in the past 30 years. Like, it's so competitive to get a job now. It's not only contingent on you getting a degree, it's also you, the way you present yourself, what skills you have and what you're able to offer. So for example, like the three of us apply for a position, we all have degrees, cool, that's a check mark. Wow, Olivia has 4 to 5 years work experience, me and you have only 2 to 3. Okay, so she beats us in that standpoint. So now there's different things you have to start looking for, right? Yes, our parents are like the generation before us, whether it's our parents or like the early millennials had, yeah, it was definitely harder because they never had social media, which yes, it definitely doesn't make, for us, it does definitely make it easier. However, people now are using social media as a gateway, but if you're not consistent with it, like working up every single day, working on your social media platform to grow it, then it's not like you're just going to magically start going to get followers. You're not going to do that because people have to connect with the brand. And that's where I kind of stand with it.
Actually, I love that you brought that up, Osama, because I think you really brought to light that I wouldn't say that people are less risk-taking. I would just say that this new society that we're in, as opposed to before, brings on a lot of new and different challenges than you would have before. Also,
exactly.
Adding on to what Osama said is that people see a lot of things on social media that makes it look so easy to make money. And to an extent, yes, it is easy to make money, but it's a matter of how much money and a matter of what you're doing. So there's people that say like, oh, become, like literally my my inbox is always full with, hey, check out this page, become a brand ambassador, like, and make money and whatnot. And
I get those a lot.
Well, yeah, right? It's not for me, but for some people it is. You know, some people are very active and very consistent. Consistency is key, like you said. Very consistent in social media. And the people that do that, the people that are consistent, the people that dedicate their time to growing their social media platforms, their following base, those people will be very successful very quickly when it comes to taking an opportunity like that.
Yeah.
But then people see that people are so flooded with seeing these things on social media that they think it's that easy. And that's not the case. And it's also the same thing with cryptocurrency. So a lot of people have very different views and perspectives and opinions on cryptocurrency. So I will leave that with whatever you feel is how you feel. I'm not judging anyone on their opinion on that. But the thing that people don't understand when they get into cryptocurrency is it's not like you're gonna put this amount of money on this and get a 6-figure income right away. No, it's gonna take time out of every single day. You have to commit yourself every single day. You have to keep learning and continue learning. It's not like, okay, I put my money, I invested this much money and now I should be making 6 figures. No, it's not like that. You have to study the knowledge behind that to understand what's happening and what the trends are. And there's just so much more involved. And the thing with that is people want to teach you that, and you have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to put in the time to get to that 6-figure income.
And I want to add on to your point, because you brought up a whole like a whole different, I guess, realm for me. I feel a lot of people, a lot of the times, because you brought up a good question, Mohammed, where you said, do you feel our generation is less risk-taking? I don't want to say it's necessarily less risk-taking, because at the end of the day, there's people who don't take risks because they're scared, which is understandable, it's fine. But success, why I kind of find a lot of people are not becoming successful, because Olivia mentioned one, they're not taking the time to learn, they're not patient. So obviously spoke about cryptocurrency. You're not going to wake up the next day and have $4 million in that account. Also, too, there's no discipline. There's no consistency. Those are 4 major things, like learning, patience, consistency, discipline. I think I'm missing one more. But those 4 major I guess, words are so important within you trying to grow your brand. Because if you're not disciplined every single day, it's gonna be harder. If you're not consistent, waking up every single day, for example, like stocks is one of the hardest things, because think about it. If you live in the West Coast, right, you have to wake up 2 hours earlier because the East Coast rises first. You gotta be up before ready, so you're able to compete with someone in Toronto if you're living in California.
Exactly. Right? Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and just don't be. I'm not saying don't do certain things that you see on social media. I'm just saying, one, go into it with an open mind, but also go into it expecting that there's going to have to be some kind of effort on your end to get to where you want to be. Any effort that you put into something will pay off unless you half-ass your effort. You have to be committed, you have to put in the work, and then when you put in the work, you will reap the benefits of it. The funny thing is there you go. The funny thing is people don't really realize how easy it is to take opportunities and to say yes. Like, think about the first job that you had, entry level, 0 experience. You were probably in high school, maybe 16, and at that time, who was going to hire you? Like, you would, right? Like, you would think that no one would hire you, but you got hired somewhere. Someone said yes. You went out and took that opportunity, and someone also gave you that opportunity. So one, thank that person, because you probably wouldn't have the money you have today or be the person that you are today without your first job. But that's already one opportunity that you've come across and that you've made. And then, as I said earlier, like your first relationship, that was an opportunity. You took a chance on someone took a chance on you. There's so many opportunities out there. Every single day that you wake up is a new opportunity and brings you new experiences. You meet new people. There's new content out there. There's so many opportunities right there.
It's funny that I named this episode "Lose Yourself," right? People are gonna start thinking, because Eminem. No, I think I named it "Lose Yourself" because I tend to lose myself if I don't take an opportunity, and sometimes it will kill me even more not knowing that I missed out on an opportunity because I got scared, or 2, I was feared about something. So I feel like people have to be compose your feelings and think. That's why sometimes when you get mad, right? Sometimes give yourself 10 minutes, because The first day it's gonna bother you. The second day it's gonna bother you less, than the third day, someone probably done something so dumb at that point. You're like, you can live with your life and go on.
Exactly. Just remember that sometimes you have a shitty feeling inside. Sometimes you're upset about something. Sometimes you're angry. Like there's so many different emotions, but that's not something that's gonna last forever.
No, absolutely.
Having a positive attitude changes like this chances that you have of opportunity, because a lot of times like when you have an opportunity, most of the time we just take it for granted. It's like, okay, I'll check this out or whatever. Like most of the time people just check it out, might not think much about it, and they'll just move on or so, right? But do you think being optimistic, being goal driven, and having a positive attitude toward an opportunity, whether it's short lived or really huge, does that make a huge difference overall?
A positive
I think
attitude.
it does, for sure. It could change someone's whole perspective.
So wait, your question was having repeat your question.
My question is, does having attitude raises the chances of the opportunity that's presented before you?
Yes, specifically when nothing is going your way. And here's why.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, I actually tweeted this out, and then some girl replied to me, and she was like, "Well, no, it's like sometimes good not be positive." I'm like, no. When I said that, I meant, for example, again, we're gonna use something that we can all relate to. Like you get
perfect example, Sama, is last year or 2 years ago at the soccer field with one of our friends, and we're talking about opportunities and goals that we have for ourselves, and a lot of people him see these opportunities as something that's okay, you just take it for granted, you just move on. But you being happy and optimistic and goal driven about it was like an offense to him. Like he was really offended. He's like, how can you be so like happy and just so anxious and so like relieved as far as wanting to take an opportunity? It doesn't make any sense. It's just something we should just do. You shouldn't be happy about it. So should there be any positive to an opportunity that presents you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like for me, I could tell you one thing. Like this is the way I look at life, and I feel not a lot of people look at the way I live as I do. But imagine you're walking through a tunnel, right? Now, once you're into the tunnel, the other side seems pitch dark, right? It's pitch dark. I've always used this example to people. The closer you walk, you see a bit of light opening up. That's the opportunity that is there for you if you continue to walk forward to the finish line, right? The more you walk, obviously the light gets bigger, and the light seems stronger because now it's hitting your eyes. You can't see no more. You're like, I'm a bit blinded. But to that person who said to our boy who said that to us, it's because people are able. It's like that beautiful quote that Albert Einstein said. It's like, what do you say? Imagination, the preview of life's coming attraction. So whatever you imagine in your head is what, I guess, whatever you believe in is what God are showing you. This is what you can have if you choose to go after with the right steps and the fundamentals that you learn. For example, like if your goal is to have a PhD, then you need the fundamentals. And people think it's a glorious life to have, I want to do this or I want to do that. But eventually, you have to be positive at all times. And that's why I feel a lot of people struggle, because when things are going tough, they just end up quitting.
Yeah. And then it just goes back to consistency is key, right? And having that positive attitude. And you know what, if you're not in the right environment that's creating a positive attitude or providing you with opportunities, maybe it's time to look for opportunities elsewhere.
Exactly.
To play devil's advocate though, for those who are saying like, it's too bad to be a positive person.
Mo, sorry to cut you off for 1 second. I have to get my charger before my laptop dies.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go do that. I guess in the meantime, we'll just shout out our social media.
Did you want to tell? Okay, good idea.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening again. This is What Are You Saying, the podcast. Make sure to follow us at Waste 2.0. That's our page on Instagram. My page is Muhammad.global. This page is at Kusa300. Olivia, can you let everyone know where to follow you on Instagram?
Yep, you guys can follow me on Instagram. It's Olivia Pearl. That's Olivia Pearl.
A new episode every Wednesday. So Ways Wednesday. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and on the various platforms. If any questions, let us know. If you want to come on the show, please inform us. And you have any questions or concerns and you want us to talk about on the show, but you don't feel as if you want to come on, you want to be anonymous, that's no problem as well. Very free flowing platform. And it's all about having beautiful conversations with diverse crowds. So, Osama, you're good?
Yeah, I just want to say thank God we're not posting this video up because I do not want to be a meme.
Yeah, I know. That's been pretty funny.
Okay, so what was your question before Osama left?
Yeah, so my question was, so like we were saying, even though you could be positive and stuff, a lot of people will be like, okay, it's one thing to be positive. When you're so optimistic, you have to be, reality comes into play, of course, right? So the reason why people don't want us to be so positive about every opportunity is because you can be so positive to a point where you forget the realities of the situation or the opportunity at hand, and therefore when it doesn't come your way or doesn't work out, that's when you fall victim to your own optimism, right? So do you think there is a level how much positive energy you should have, but realize the reality of the situation at hand when it comes to any opportunity that comes your way?
For me, that's kind of hard to answer because I am an optimistic person, but I am also a realist. So like I do factor in things that could go wrong. I'm realistic with any risks that are being taken, and I don't. This is a good question. A positive attitude doesn't mean you're not telling someone don't look at the negatives. No, still look at the negatives, but if you see enough value, enough potential, then take that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And just don't shut things down right away. Go be open-minded. That's what we're trying to get at. We're not saying, when we say don't be negative, we're not saying don't look at the negative factors. We're just saying, don't shut it down right away.
Yeah, and here's why for me, to answer your question, why negative, I guess, factors in life never affect me, because when I approach something, I already know what I'm going to face, like all the negativity. I already prepare myself for that. So I'm like, I know I'm going to face it someday, so I'm just going to prepare myself for it. Again, yes, like people make it sound like when Gary Vee or all these other motivation speakers or even these YouTubers say be positive, people make it sound like, oh, so we can't get mad. They're not saying that. Of course, you're going to go through a lot of stuff in your life that causes you to emotionally feel downgraded or just feel demotivated. However, I feel, at least for me, it works when you prepare yourself. Like, for example, the amount of times certain things we weren't even like aware that's going to happen to me and you, and two, there's certain things that we already prepared ourselves for previously that now when they happen, we're like, it hits a trigger. We're like, no, we've seen this before. We're exiting, right?
Exactly. And actually, it kind of reminds me of, in marketing, that SWOT analysis, where you have to look at your strengths, the threats, opportunities, and weaknesses. So a lot of businesses, they use this. You can use it for anything in life, I feel. When you're looking at that stuff, you are looking at the threats, you are looking at the weaknesses, you're keeping that in mind, and you're coming up with a plan on how you're going to tackle those, how you're going to overcome that. And a positive energy or a positive attitude is what you need to come up with new ideas on how you're going to overcome that. So you're still considering what negative factors may arise. You're not keeping that out of your mind, but you're using a positive attitude to overcome that.
Yeah, I feel like it makes sense to me, at least because obviously we studied that marketing one. Shout out to that school. But I was gonna. By the way, this is like off note. Each time I passed by Sheridan, and I don't know why I legit like discussed it because it's right beside Square One. So I'm like, disgusting. Mm-hmm. Why do I have to see it every time I go to Square One? Move the campus.
You know what? I feel like my last year at I feel like the whole environment just changed, and I don't know what it was. But the first few years that we were in there, like, I had no issues. I loved it. But something changed, and I can't pinpoint what it was.
Yeah, well, I definitely saw it because obviously, like, at the time we're our group of friends, then I saw myself drifting away, not necessarily because of anything in particular, but obviously just like naturally, because at that point, I was the only single on the crew, and then two, I was like, adios, and I started working full time, so I was like, at that point, I was just trying to grow my career. And that's why a lot of people were asking me like, "Yo, are you drifting away?" I'm like, no, and I kind of lead into this. Where I did see that same drift at Sheridan. The last year I saw it, I kind of saw it slowly from second year. The second year slowly things were like kind of changing, and third year by second semester it took the biggest drift.
Yeah, you know what else I think it was as well was so we started all together because the first year of any business course you have to take all of the business courses, right? But the further you get into your program, you don't see the same people because everyone took different programs, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, you took more marketing-focused classes, I took more HR-focused classes. So that was one thing that caused the drift. And the other thing that I think it also was because we started together, and then afterwards, like, as time went on, we learned more, we grew older, we had more life experiences. And then the new generation came in, and then you would hear all their lame conversations in the hallways. Like, the things that they would talk about were just so ridiculous. And I just remember thinking to myself, like who even has that as a conversation? Like, how is that a conversation piece?
Yeah,
and you
honestly,
just realize like how much more mature you got, and how immature some people are when they start college.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely, I want to say it was mature, but I made some like childish choices, or sometimes I was just too childish. Cause like, when it came to work, I was like doing my stuff, but sometimes I would act so dumb, like, why am I doing this to myself? But I also was doing, cause I remember, I think I told you guys this, or I'm not sure if I did, but I just knew certain people from Sheridan. I knew I was not gonna be friends with certain people going down the road. And that's because, again, your values change. My values changed quickly. After Sheridan was done, I just started like building on myself again, building that opportunity. Because I feel.
Mohammed, are you good there?
No, this guy's not good. He's on mute.
I think the ultimate work right now. But I'm listening. Just continue.
Was it a laptop problem?
Relocation problem. But I'll be ready to talk in like in a minute.
Interesting. See, so thank God this is not good. Thank God this is not going to go on YouTube, bro, because if it did, we would have some issues. But I was just to add on to your point. Again, but then again, like think about the people you used to chill with at Sheridan, like to now. Like, someone asked me the other day. He's like, "Do you still see people?" Came and speak more. He's like, "Do you still see people from Sheridan?" I'm like, "Don't who I talked to? I mentioned you, and obviously like Vashy's been on the show before, and then do you remember Rolla?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I still talk to him. He got engaged, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but I saw it, and I don't know. I didn't want to validate because I'm not that close with him. Maybe he just reposted something. So I don't want to be that person spreading false information. Well, congrats, Rolla.
He might kill me for it, but yeah, I have a group chat with him. I'm not sure. There's another guy called Brandon. I'm not sure if you know him as well. So like, it's only you guys who I really keep in touch with, like legit consistent to have group chats. Aside from that, anybody else have not seen, don't care to see. Nothing personal, just that your values probably don't match mine, and I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of times, people are just gonna start asking me. Like one of my other friends hit me up from school. He started asking me questions, and I helped him out. I gave him a helping hand. But aside from that, I just know the conversation's not gonna go anywhere else. So I just ended it.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. You gotta protect your peace too.
Yeah, I just want to say off topic that to anybody, if this video ever goes up online, Mo's arms, I'm gonna be Osama right now. Mo's arms aren't that big because you don't go to the gym, bro.
I go to the gym, man.
No, you don't, dude. You know, Look. It's actually because when I was going to the gym, this is like off topic again, talking about opportunity. I go to the gym every single day. I was going every single day at least, and I was like, I went to I felt good. My arms were a little bit big. Now my arms are noodles. I'm not afraid to say it. I told this one girl yesterday that my arms are invisible. You can't even see them no more. And
Obviously, it makes sense.
It's your genetics, bro. You have amazing genetics. That's it. Like if I have your genetics, I'd be like The Rock, bro.
I'm gonna go with the lockdown, but yeah, while I was like trying to find out during the 2 trying to survive and trying to figure out where I'm gonna record the podcast in my house, I was hearing this conversation. It was pretty interesting, and like when it comes again, it's like there's certain people you come across in life, whether it's college, high school, post career work, that it's like it's kind of hard to gel with. But at the same time, obviously, to get new opportunities, you're gonna have to meet new people. You have to work with new people. You have to get along with new people, whether you like them or not. So, why is it so hard for us to just meet new people when it comes to opportunities? Like, we rather just shoot down opportunities because we don't want to go and meet new people, and we rather stay with our social group as far as our friends.
I actually like how you mentioned this because I remember a specific time where, obviously, Olivia knows this person, and this girl, I just cut her off and whatever. Obviously, I told you the story before.
It's Tarbash.
Yeah, you can call her whatever you want. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I was gonna say at the time I had just cut this person off, right? And I remember because you said your question was why is it so hard to meet new people? Specifically, I don't use it for relationships. A lot of the times, people after they stop being friends with someone or stop being, I guess, in a relationship with someone, they have a harder time because they're like, the question ends up being, is it me or is it someone else, right? So then you're trying to find yourself at 21 years old. You're already going through so much. Trying to find a full-time job, a full-time career, and obviously you're trying to, like, I guess in a way, deviate from all the BS that you're around. I remember this one girl was like, I guess the advice that she gave me, she was like 26 at the time and I was 21. So obviously there's a big difference in terms of experience-wise, not even age. And she was like, you gotta stop thinking about people who affected you in the past and use it to dictate your decision in the future, which definitely hit me like a ton of bricks. And after that, like maybe I think a month after that, I was like much more awake with how I started contacting and dealing with people.
I think people are also scared of being judged, but I kind of want to challenge that. If you're meeting someone new that you've never met before, say they don't like you.
Yeah.
Why would you let that affect you? You've never met them before. They don't actually know you in one interaction with you. And then also, if you've never met them before, are they really going to be in your life that much longer if you guys don't like each other?
You know, it's honestly, like me, I think me now, I don't think I've ever cared if someone did. Like, obviously, people have to understand, not every single person is ever going to like you. Like, you're going to have your haters. People will hate you for no reason, just because your laugh or the way you dress, or just, who knows, maybe because people you chill around with. And so I feel like why did it affect you? I have no idea. I don't think it's one answer to answer that, to be honest with you. At least for me. I'm not sure if you guys have something to touch upon that.
Sorry, an answer to what? Can you be a little bit more clear?
I was gonna say, because you said, why do people care that people hate them, right? So for me, I don't think it's one singular answer that can dictate why someone cares, right? Again, it could be the way you're brought up, or maybe you just like being accepted. Hold on. You know what? We're not gonna talk about Drake right now because I'll destroy you. But go back to a real topic. Like I have, again, going back to our friend who got mad about the one person that told him photography sucks. People, if you allow certain comments to get to you, then I feel bad, because when it comes to business or in life, you need thick skin.
Well, the funny thing is, Osama, like, if someone told about, it's like the thing that you're wanting to learn and the thing that you're so like creative about, not only are you not good at it, but you said he sucks. What's there a better way of saying it, or not?
Okay, so you're talking about that, right? Okay, look. The thing is, a lot of
way
people...
to call him out.
No, well, I don't think he even knows we're even talking about him at this point. He doesn't even listen to us, which is the funnier part. And so to answer your funny question, I can say this: some people have a hard time using their choice of words. So as opposed to saying you're not as good, they'll say you suck, but their suck is not meant to be taken. like seriously, because for example, we had that one person that told us almost a year ago. He's like, yo, you got, and this is when we were in one of our hiatuses, right, trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and he was like, yeah, just be honest, you're just gonna be average workers doing whatever you want. So the thought of us becoming where we want to be to him, it didn't make sense. Well, it's not supposed to make sense to him. So yeah, bro, tell me I suck. People like, dude, this Lean posted something on her story, and someone was talking trash about her car. If someone is willing to talk trash about you or your content or what you do you understand they're paying attention to your content?
Yep.
So?
Yeah, he's cut off for me too.
Yeah, that was pretty weird because you're just talking and then you just became stuck.
Yeah, and silent. Oh, are you back? Osama, you got cut off.
Oh, really? What? You guys got cut off from me? That's interesting. So, where did I end off so I can repeat it?
You're about to jump. That's when you got stuck. You're like this. Like you're about to jump into a next.
Okay. Can you tell me?
Someone is judging you for something that you posted when they're looking at your content.
Okay, so someone's judging you based on a post. Someone says you suck. So I'll just repeat everything again. Someone's judging you. They took the time to post on your content, to look at your content, and not only they sent it. So you're spending all that time to hate. You're looking at my content that I made and letting me know I suck. Thank you very much, bro. I got paid. I got the money now, not you. You just took half an hour of your time to tell me I'm shitty. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. That's what you gotta tell me.
Yeah, for real. Like, why would you waste your time telling someone how bad they are? Why don't you use that time to better yourself, do something productive? Like, the time that it would take me to complain about something so stupid, I could be doing something for myself. I could have bought myself, I don't know, a new pair of jeans online. Something that would make me happy.
Literally.
And that I would get value out of.
There you go. So it motivated. Like, go back to this is like one of the realest, I guess, conversations we've had in a long time. So for some, I guarantee we've all respectively had someone tell us that we're trash or whatever, right? But for someone to go, and this is why I don't like telling people that, because who am I to tell someone else that they can't do something? I'm meaningless to someone. I'm meaningless because if you want to see yourself successful, then you have to be willing to see other people successful in their workforce or in their trade or whatever.
Also, for anyone out there, if someone tells you suck, if someone tells you something negative, you don't have to stay friends with that person. Also, why would you want someone in your group that doesn't support you? You know, like, just know that, like, if someone is giving you an energy that you don't want in your life, or that is not right for you at the point in your life that you're at, you don't have to keep them in your life. You can focus on yourself. You can build a better environment for yourself. And you know what? Maybe later down the road, maybe they'll change, maybe you'll change, and then maybe you guys can be friends again. But you don't have to keep people in your life, you know? Friends are people that you choose to be friends with. You're not forced. So just keep that in mind.
That's a beautiful point.
Goes back to episode 14, validity of cliches. No, it's a beautiful point because obviously, as we all know, like, you'd rather stay with a group of peers, and whatever comes with it, you decide to choose that, right? So it's like, it feels as if if you're in a group of friends that's really toxic, whatever comes with it, you're just gonna take it because you don't feel as if you're gonna find something else to replace it very quick. So that's why most people, they rather not tell their friends about certain decisions they want to do, certain choices they want to make, whether they feel as if they want to get married or get a new job and stuff, because they just don't want to take and deal and just handle the criticism they might get from their closest group of peers. So I love how you said, Olivia, like, if you're not feeling happy overall, if you're not feeling peace or happiness just from your own group of friends, then just make the conscious effort and just move on, because it saves you a lot of time and peace.
What's your advice? I guess this question's for both of you. What's your who has toxic friends? Obviously, this is like for everybody, and they don't know what to do. Like, what's your advice to them? Because sometimes it's hard to leave. Yeah, I guess both of you. Like, sometimes it's hard to leave certain friends because, you know, I guess advice for someone who has toxic friends and they're having a hard time to make the
So, for me, I would say one, focus on yourself. You don't have to hang out with people every single day. You don't have to say yes to hanging out for every event, for every occasion. I personally, there's times where I wanted to focus on myself, or there's just been maybe something has happened in one of my friends' lives that has just created a toxic environment that I've had to distance myself and say, you know what, guys, I can't hang out. I'm going to take some time for myself. And I distanced myself from them for, let's say, I don't know, a couple of weeks, and then went back. And then maybe they got over it. Maybe they had a new perspective, and then I was friends with them again. So distance and working on myself really helps. And then, there's other friends where I just never reconnected because I was like, you know what? Now that I've distanced myself from them, I haven't been hanging out with them as much. I have a new inner peace that I haven't had when I was consistently hanging out with them. And then another thing I would say too is if your whole group of friends is like that, then you need to start being more open and reaching out to new people. And there's so many different ways that you can meet new people. Let's say, okay, bye, Osama. Let's say that you have a hobby. It's been something that you've been super interested in your whole life. There's forums for all these hobbies. There's different groups for these hobbies. There's so many people that have the same shared common interests as you. You just have to reach out. Online is a good option. Maybe they have meetups some places. Maybe you have family members that just have a better group of friends or a more positive group of friends. You can always reach out and maybe hang out with one of them. School is a good opportunity to meet new people. Workplaces, it doesn't hurt to say to a coworker, hey, do you want to grab a coffee on lunch? And, as you grow that relationship, you'll meet new people maybe in their network. But don't be afraid to say no to going out. Don't be afraid to distance yourself. And if they can't accept that, then those are friends that I personally don't think are there to support you.
Totally agree. Beautiful answer. And everything you just said, I wouldn't go again. If you're a person who's listening and you're in a situation like that, everything Olivia just said, please adhere to it, write it down, and just evaluate yourself once again. For everyone, it's no problem. You got disconnected, so we're kind of worried for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, but don't be afraid to distance yourself. Sometimes you just need your own mental clarity, and sometimes it'll give you even more clarity, and you'll realize things that you didn't even realize when you were hanging out with people.
Of course, the steps to evolving as far as being a person, it comes in forms of baby steps, not in big mountain steps that we think we could just do because we're so strong and as humans and with social media and everything that seems so easy to do, right? No, things comes in the forms of baby steps. So if you are dealing with a toxic environment from your group of peers, see, it's not gonna be easy to be like, hey guys, I'm gonna leave you guys and figure out what I want to do for my life. No, that's not how it works, obviously, right? That's not realistic. And obviously what comes after that, it might make you become depressed or even sad and stuff, right? So you gotta really evaluate. So the first thing I would do is just take time out and just disappear for a while. Doesn't mean you don't see them once in a while, but maybe see them once a week as opposed to 3 to 4 times a week. And really, when you're by yourself, take the time out, evaluate what you want to do, and what are the chances of you doing that with your group of friends as opposed to without them, right? And once you have that answer, you have to work yourself towards it. And I don't know, it's really weird how life works because any time for myself when I want to do something, and I knew that if I was around certain people, it would bring me down. Whenever I decided to distance myself, I would meet individuals who are like-minded, who are on the same pathway, just the same amount of focus on different things. And through that relationships of just building each other, motivating each other, it makes you want to work harder and actually brings you closer to the goal or even the opportunity that presented itself for you, right? So don't worry and feel as if your life is over. It's totally not over. Even though you'll be by yourself a little bit, at the same time, you never know who you're going to meet that's a like-minded individual that's interested in the same thing as you, or maybe something else, but you guys still have that hunger, drive, and ambition. So life works in
Absolutely. And I'm going to put this out there for myself. You guys are welcome to if that's something you're interested in. But I just want to put it out there that if you feel like you can't get out of a toxic group of friends, if you feel like you're too scared to meet someone new, if you don't know who to reach out to, feel free to send me a DM. Like, I'm always open to meeting new people, talking about opportunities like this, or even like, honestly, if you don't know what to talk about, but you just need a change of environment in your friends, reach out. Like, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. I have conversations like this with people I've just met. I have conversations like this with friends that are close, with family members. Like, it happens. Like, not everyone is. Blessed with a great group of friends from the beginning to the end. Like, for example, I'm sure between you and Osama, I'm sure there was friends that you've met along your journey from elementary until now, and that have fallen out of your circle. And the same with me and Osama. When we were in college, we had quite a few other people in our group of friends, and now it's just me, Osama, and Dash from college for me. And I'm completely fine with that. I am happy with the friends that I have. I may not have as many friends as I had before, but at least I know that I'm in a good environment, that I chose the people that I want to be here with me till the end. And, that's all that matters to me. So if you want to reach out to me, feel free to message me on Instagram, Olivia Pearl. I don't know if you guys want to open up yours. That's up to you. And then, yeah.
Contact me. I'm not going to respond. No, I'm joking. Obviously, same thing with you, Olivia. Like, that's why we do this. This is why we create this platform. And the beautiful thing is, we know Osama, we've actually probably had like over 3 to 4 individuals that we met within the past 2 to 3 years, that we either saw them at a place, we talked to them online, and they just open up to us about the struggles that they're going through, whether it's relationship, family, school, and through our conversations and just giving them advice, pleading to them, and just letting them know that you're okay, you're beautiful, no matter who you are and what you're going through, and we're always here for you. It actually opened up opportunities and blessings that we did not expect. So by all means, always hit us up. Always.
Yeah, actually, I have because if you have a toxic group of friends, you're not the only person out there. So there's someone in one of my networks. I don't want to go into detail which network or who it is, but this individual, when I first met them a few years ago, they would tell me stories about their friends, and I was just so mind blown about the ridiculousness that would happen in this group of friends, and I was just so baffled, because I'm like, how at this age is this an issue? Why are people upset about this? Why is there so much emotion attached to something so stupid, in my opinion? And why are you wasting your time? And then there's all these apologies and makeups and breakups, and I'm like, why are you still? I'm like, sometimes I fully ask them, I'm like, why are you still friends with that person? And then they'll be like, well, and then sometimes they don't have an answer, and I'm like, well, maybe think about why you don't have an answer. And then now that I've known this person for a few years, I've seen huge changes in them. They do still have a few friends that are a little bit toxic, but they are a lot more aware of these toxic situations that they get put into from those friends of theirs. So now that they're more aware of it, they're more cautious with certain things that they tell those friends. They keep those friends more at a distance, and they've actually found new friends that are a lot more positive. So if you ever want to chat, my DMs are always open for that. And you're not the only person, so don't be shy.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, I feel it's definitely always good to give a helping hand regardless of the issue. Because going back to your point about the people that came out to us in the past 2 to 3 years and like asked us for, I actually remember like one specific person who came up to us from McDonald's, that young lady, and she was like giving us like, and it's so weird because a lot of the times I've realized people always come to certain people for advice, and there's certain people that don't, because obviously you can sense like the energy, like they start drifting away. And again, I don't personally mind it. Like, I'm always open to give people advice, regardless. I have to give it to you, like, regardless, I have to give it to you the same advice every single time. Doesn't bother me at all. If I'm able to help out, I'm able to help out. If I'm not, I guess that's how life goes.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying we're experts by any means, but if you don't know who to reach out to, you're welcome to start there.
I'm not sure if you guys mentioned this, because I was having Wi-Fi troubles in my room. I'm definitely changing my room up after this podcast. But I was gonna say a lot of the times people, you see them having trouble is because they post so much of their life on social media, and social media is not always puts a glamorous side of your life. Like, you're not gonna put, like, for example, one of my friends said to me, like, yo, why don't you put, like, whoever knows me, I only put food, music, or me driving on social media. Or I'll put funny stuff and say, like, I don't put anything else. Like, nothing of my friends, nothing of myself. Not gonna put where I'm at, because I don't care for people to know where I'm at. A, for the respect of myself and my safety and my friend's safety, because, like, what if they don't want to be on my social media account?
Yep, that's respectful.
And I feel that's why a lot of times people, you see certain friends getting distant. Oh, like, you went there without me, you did that. And you can tell certain people by the tone of their voice that they're mad that you went somewhere without them.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I've actually that exact thing actually happened one time between me and my friends, and we weren't upset about it. We weren't sure if we were missing something, because it was so strange for that to happen at the time. But now it's pretty normal. But it does make you wonder sometimes, right? Social media is so filled with false information. It's ridiculous. Like, think about how easy it would be to rent a nice Airbnb, like a nice condo, for, like, let's say, I don't know, $200 for one night, and then shoot a music video there. Mm-hmm. And then go back to your home where you live, I don't know, maybe not in the nicest place. Right? Like, don't be fooled by the things you see on social media. I could literally right now take a picture outside and post that, and then tag the location that I'm in Japan.
Yeah, well, it's also because a lot of the time, think about it. Instagram has that ability for you to do that. It's also because, if you think about it, a lot of people have now made social media friends where they care more so about what someone says behind their phone. Who knows, that person can be a creep, as opposed to going to someone they've known and they trust, and they consider them whatever you consider a brother, a best friend, or whoever they may be, and then go for their opinion. And I remember we made a video about this a long time ago. I'm not sure if you remember, but it was like with Jaffer, and I remember who's our old member. And I remember we were talking about a lot of the times people want to seek validation from others on social media because they're not able to accept it in person. So all over social media, it's not going to affect you as much because you can delete the comment. But if I tell you something in person, you can't delete it. You have to deal with it on hand.
That's very true. I like that.
And I guess just to wrap things up, because obviously taking advantage of every opportunity comes with sacrifice, humility, and just ambition if you're willing to take it, right? Because opportunities are short-lived. I'm sacrificing things that I didn't think I need to sacrifice, but that's the beautiful thing about it. Like you said earlier, at least you know. So if it doesn't work, you're okay with it, right? So you got to set yourself up for realistic expectations and be positive at the exact same time. Like Olivia said, just trying to have that balance, because the better you are having that balance, the more in tune you are with yourself and what you really want in life. So it doesn't whether it happens or not. And the good thing about it, you know how to pivot. So I think now wrapping up the episode, because a lot of people definitely had a lot of things to enjoy. As a final message to everyone, do you think taking an opportunity, whether big or small, is always an advantage?
Is that what we're leaving our viewers with?
Yep, the original question.
Or are you asking?
Asking you guys the original question.
Okay. I like that. And you know what? If you have any opinions on this, shout it out to us on our Waze account. We'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. We'd love to hear how our podcast has either inspired you, if you have something to play devil's advocate in that you want to talk about, feel free to put it in the comments for this episode on our Ways account.
Factual. And wait, did you ask a rhetorical question? Sorry, because like, did you ask a rhetorical question, or did you actually want us to answer the question?
You know the vibes.
So I'm just gonna take out the rhetorical question then, because I know the vibes are cold outside. I'm not sure what the vibes are at your crib, bro.
Dysfunctional.
No, I'm playing. Much love, but yeah, just to add on to what Olivia said, yeah, always hit us up in our 3 accounts. We've already mentioned that Olivia and the other girl Zara would be on. They'll be on more often on the podcast. This way, A, we want to grow our audience, and 2, I love their opinions, and obviously I don't think there's no 2 girls that I know that are better to have on the podcast. So
can I actually end off with these 3 life rules about opportunities?
Yes,
yeah,
please,
end it off.
Please.
Okay. If you do not go after what you want, you will never have it. If you do not ask, the answer will always be no. And if you do not step forward, you will always remain in the same place. So keep that in mind.
Damn. That's the best way to end it off. Let's be honest here.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
I just came across
so
it. Perfect timing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, Olivia, for that.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I look forward to our next episode.
Of course.
We look forward to having you on every day. So far, Olivia has 3 episodes, so she's the longest person. Yeah, longest guest host, and 2. I don't think no one's able to beat. I feel like every time you're on, to be honest with you, you've always like set the bar for someone else, because I feel like she always sets the bar. Our conversations have always been bar setting, and I think 2 of Olivia's episodes are top 5 trending episodes, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah.
That shows you that people are listening to her.
She's putting up the numbers. People clearly like listening to her more than us.
I'm telling you, that's why. So for everybody listening, the reason why, I don't think that we've really explained it, but the reason why we want to have 2 female guest hosts is, 1, we want to have a 3rd voice on our team, and 2, we want to grow our female audience, which I don't think guys on their own can do that.
No, honestly, I have a great support system, and I just want to shout you guys out as well. Thank you so much for listening to our Ways podcast. It means so much to us, and this is our way of growing as a team as well.
Faction, and I couldn't agree more. And I feel that there's obviously more big things to come. Hopefully we can get better Wi-Fi, because I'm not gonna lie, this thing cutting out my room is cheesing me, bro. It's cheesing me. Dude, listen, man. When you live in an immigrant household, so like I know a lot of immigrants, because I've saw our analytics. We're suffering, but the fact that you're listening to us means a lot. Again, Olivia, we love having you on. We want to have you on, hopefully, for every single episode going forward. And anything else you guys want to say?
Just be you. Be you.
All right, man. I love being me, bro. Like, I feel I don't think I've ever met anybody else.
To all the listeners in the 14 countries around the world that listen to us on a daily basis, thank you. We love you, and always be you. Nothing.
All right. Good way to end it. Thank you guys again. We'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I exit?
Just press so press when you go and hang up, I think it should give you an option.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, before you leave, do not close the link. Do not close the tab quickly. Like, it'll tell you that it's uploading the episode. So just wait like a few seconds. And then once it says your episode's completely uploaded, then you can close the tab or the browser.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
No problem.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.
That was an amazing episode, aside from the technical difficulties that we've had. LOL. But it was probably one of the most personal episodes that we've had in a while.
Yeah, of course. Like, this is something you shouldn't take for granted. Like, when it comes to opportunities, it either you take it or you watch it lie before you, right? So that's why,
Mhm.
man, in my life at this point, opportunities don't come as much, but when they do, I seize it. And the funny thing is, when I was 21 and 18, 19, 20, opportunities were falling out of the sky. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to grab every single one with ease. And most of them I was grabbing, a lot of them were just, I don't know, I guess you could say filled with poison. But the ones that were filled with envy and joy and happiness, hey, they still live on to this day. So it's all about just planting those seeds and watch it turn into something right before your own eyes. So opportunities, never take it for granted, people. Never ever take it for granted.
Never take it for granted. And two, I feel, just to add on, I would say an opportunity is not always given to you. So sometimes you have to go out of your way to go get it. And when you do get it, don't take it for granted. Make sure that you are grateful for that opportunity. As you said before, whether it being small or big of an opportunity. I want to thank Olivia for that beautiful quote that she said in the end, because she could have ended off better than that. And again, we love having her on. Guys, again, if you want to hear more guests come on our show, aside from the two reoccurring guest hosts, by all means, let us know. Hit them up as well, so they also tag them, so they also know. I'm also, because here our account now getting a little bit more traction. And yeah, I don't think there's nothing else to say, guys. Go seize your opportunity, bro. Legit, go.
That's it. Jump. Just
Go.
go.
Go. Yeah, man, I'm so hungry. This is off topic, but I'm so hungry, bro. Holy, I haven't eaten yet.
Yeah, I should definitely go eat. That would make sense.
And yo, I want to say, I don't know how you don't have my number saved. This guy said, this is a funny story. I've been texting this guy for a day now. I'm like, why didn't, because usually he's fast. I see him responding on other group chats. I'm like, yo, what is wrong with this dude? And then he calls me, he's like, bro, this is you texting this whole time. He thought it was some waste then.
Some like African beast. Because I'm like, the message would pop up, you like download. I'm like, I'm not downloading any message. So I'll be like, yes, hi, how are you? I'm like, who is this person from Cambodia that's trying to message me or contact me? That's using like a fighter works too. So I'm like so confused. So I was really confused.
Fido, bro, get out of here. Fido's left.
I was really confused until this morning. You're like, are you ready? I'm like, is this Osama? And I looked at the numbers. I'm like, oh my god. But somehow, like, because obviously sometimes you'll send me messages on data and for iPhone and Android. But I guess the last time, I don't know, created some glitch. So maybe not all the text messages that you send me now, it just goes onto emails. I don't know how. I don't know why that's happening.
That makes no sense. You need a new phone. You still have an iPhone 5.
It's not me, it's a Fido problem.
Okay, it's not a Fido problem, bro. Get out of here. Who do you have? Wind?
Bell.
That's cap.
I'm good.
That's cap. Anyways, by the way, some new. Actually, there's no point in mentioning this because by the time this comes out, this fight will be old.
Yeah, there's no point.
But anyways, I guess let's end it off.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Make sure Waste 2.0 on Instagram, Waste 2.0. Our IG page, you see Osama's at myself is at Mohammed.global. Make sure to hit us up, like, comment, share, subscribe every video. It'll be available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, and other various platforms. You can follow Olivia at her Instagram page at Olivia Pearl. Make sure to hit us up. Let us know when to come to the show. Thank you so much to the listeners in Canada, around the world, 14 countries plus. We love all you guys and would love to hear from you guys. So hit us up and let us know how you feel about the show. And let's just build some dialogue and let's change the world one day at a time.
Facts.
All right?
That being said, peace.
Peace.